I just want to be real with you guys. This is my favorite article of clothing. My bathrobe is everything, and I wish that I could wear it everywhere. It's so soft. I really wish you guys could, like, touch it because, oh, I love it. So I just thought I'd come to you real and raw. Hello, divas! Happy Friday! How are you doing? It's Friday, right? It's not a GBH week. Don't get me wrong, I love doing GBH, but this week I really want to focus on one show. It was Glee. It's the season finale, and I feel like there's just a lot to discuss with that I want to just do that today. I'm really hot in this thing. Ugh. I love it though. The Glee season finale, let me just set this up for you. I have been a fan of Glee since the very beginning. Since they did the little preview of the pilot back in like May before the show ever started in September. It was after American Idol. Do you guys remember this? And then iTunes put the pilot on for free and you could download it, and I downloaded it and I loved it. Since the beginning, I remember watching that pilot all summer long, getting ready for the show. I was pumped, I was excited. I could tell that the show was gonna be good. And that first performance, Don't Stop Believin', the whole first episode of the show, it was just so good. And I just, like, that show has meant a lot to me. I love music. I loved the characters. But this season has really flopped for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Season 4 has not always been my favorite. I felt like we have seen a lot of good things happen, but I think that we've seen a lot of bad things happen. But really focusing on Season 4's finale, there were a lot of things that did work for me. The episode kicked off with Rachel singing To Love You More by Celine Dion, and that was flawless. There is not a time when I'm watching Lea Michele sing that I don't feel some sort of like emotion coming through. I think that To Love You More was a perfect song choice for her. I think that there's a lot going on in her personal life and, you know, with Corey Monteith, and I felt like that emotion may have actually come out while she was singing, and I just felt like it was like real emotion and those were real tears. I had tears, you guys. Literally, I had tears. A++++. Lea Michele rocked it as per the usual. Another thing that totally worked for me was the cute little lesbian couple, Meredith Baxter, Patty Duke. I thought it was really cute and adorable. I hear that they're going to be sticking around for season 5 and that they may just become like recurring guest roles, which would be really fun, I think. And it would be good, like they said, for Blaine and for Kurt and Santana even, to have some sort of like successful lesbian couple to look up to. So I appreciate that they are there, and I thought that they were really cute and I loved it. And I kind of like, I felt bad for Blaine when they proposed and they got engaged to each other, but I'll tell you my feelings on that in a minute. Obviously, one of the most emotional pieces of last night's season finale was definitely Brittany's send-off. I thought it was a really good way to say goodbye to Heather Morris if she doesn't return to Glee, especially, you know, with the whole, you know, she's pregnant, we don't know where she stands, if she'll be back or not, and I just, like, there was really, like, something emotional and real, and that's what I appreciate, is, like, when there's, like, real emotion and you can see it in the characters. But when she was saying, you know, I never felt smart until I was in this room. You know, I had always felt stupid because other people said I was stupid, and I always believed it until I was in this room with you guys. And obviously I cried, and, you know, I will miss Brittany. I love Brittany. I think that she has, you know, she's gone from like this like supporting kind of background role to being a major player of Glee, and I am interested to see where it ends. Obviously, I love Brittana, which is Brittany Santana, and I support them I was glad that that was kind of the last scene with Brittany and Santana when they were walking out together. On top of things that did work for me, there were definitely things that did not work for me on last night's finale. Things that definitely did not work for me were that it felt rushed. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like there was a lot of like rushing of storylines. Let's see what we can kind of cram into this hour, and if we can't, we'll just leave it as a cliffhanger. That's basically what happened. I don't know if you guys felt like that, but that was definitely how I felt and how I perceived it. I also felt like the timeline didn't make sense because, you know, last season we saw like regionals at the winter break finale and then nationals at the like season finale, and that makes perfect sense. But to have like season 4 end halfway through the school year, so then the school year is going to pick up in September, that's going to be really confusing, and then that also just throws off the show for the rest of eternity of the life of the show. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, if you go halfway into the school year, then you're going to have to air summer. Are you going to air summer? Is the Glee finale, like, winter finale going to be their summer break? It's going to be so confusing. I don't know. Let's see what Ryan Murphy has planned. I am curious because there are a lot of things that they can't skip. Like, we're going to have to see these things happen. We're going to have to see a graduation. We're going to have to see a prom. We're going to have to see nationals. How are you going to do this, Ryan Murphy? I'm really curious. So I guess you've got me sticking around for at least the first part of season 5 because I am curious about how that's going to go down. The other thing that really did not work for me is, like, regionals used to have such really powerful voices and singing and songs, and we went from such like iconic songs to iconic pop. I felt like it was really like dancey and poppy, and while I love that kind of music, that's not what Glee's about. Like, Glee has always had these like really like big ballady songs that have been played out on their regional performances. So I just felt like we have definitely seen a lot better out of Glee as far as the music goes in these big competitions. Do you agree? I would definitely want to see if you guys agree to put a comment down there. I think there's a squirrel. I'm not like one of those people that's like, ooh, squirrel, but I do see a squirrel running across my fence, so I apologize. I want to make it clear that I still love Glee, but what I've really noticed this season is that there's been a lot of focus on the show's stories and less about the music, which that's what Glee's about. And these stories that have been played out, they get started and they're told really well, and then they just kind of like fall apart. I think the biggest example of this is the school shooting. The first part of the episode was super emotional. When they're like locked in the choir room, when Brittany is standing on the toilet and she's crying and the tears are falling in the toilet, that was real to me. I felt that. And then Sue comes in and she just makes a joke and it was over. It completely fell apart. I didn't like it. I haven't been satisfied with the route that these stories have gone. Especially like Rachel's pimp daddy boyfriend, that was weird. We had the catfish story, which was obviously always unique. Let's see. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen in season 5. I do have a wish list, and here it is. That was a great segue, right? My hope for season 5, to kick it off, is definitely Brittany coming back. I don't want to see that be the end. I love Brittany. Heather Morris has done a really good job. I think that she's done a great job at transitioning from kind of this background supporting role to kind of being a major player on the show. She's funny, she's got great one-liners, and I just like her character. The other thing that I'm definitely hoping for in season 5 is more Rachel, Kurt, and Santana. These are like real voices, they're good voices. Mercedes too! Bring those back. I want to see more of that. And what would be the crime? I get there would be a crime because they did this with Saved by the Bell and it was weird. But I would love to just see those characters. I felt like the way that they brought these new characters in this last season and they were just clones of the people that had left, like Kitty was Quinn, you know what I mean? Like, that was weird. I didn't like that. Like, I would rather bring in different people that are really good instead of bringing in people that are good that are exact clones of who has graduated. What did you guys think of that? I definitely, again, comment. And then the last two things that I definitely want to see back are bigger emphasis put on amazing vocals. I mean, like I said, obviously that goes with bringing Rachel, Kurt, Santana, Mercedes back into the picture. Even Finn, even Puck, like I liked those guys. Like, they were so much better. I don't want to be rude, but they were better. They were so much better. Thank God we had Blaine. I love Blaine. I don't want to be too loud about this because I don't want to be rude, but I love them. I love them, and I think that they're just so much better. And then to go with Blaine and Kurt, I need to say this. I do think it's really sweet that Blaine wants to propose to Kurt. I definitely agree with Kurt's dad. They're not ready. But I do want Klaine back together because, well, just, yes. I need that in my life. Oh, I can't stand it. Okay, I have gone on for far too long. I want to know what you guys thought of the Glee finale last night. Leave your comments below, even if it's just my 4 viewers. I love you all so much. Bye, babies! Why? I can't. I can't. It's like 100 degrees in this thing.